What's happening, Andy here? I'm joined today by Meg Fleming from Blue Iris IQ. How are you, Meg? What's happening?
I'm doing great, Andy. It's a pleasure to be here.
It is great to have you. Blue Iris IQ. We know them, I think, a little better as something else. I'm going to let you introduce them. It was part of Konica Minolta's division. If you could just give us some background, who is Blue Iris IQ? What do you do for them? And we'll go from there.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate the opportunity. I think, just it's important to start with a little bit of a baseline, like how did we get here, right? And who is Blue Iris IQ and where did we come from? And I think, one of the things that's really been happening across all of our marketplace and industry is all the change that's occurring at such a rapid pace when it comes to access and utilizing your data to make intelligent business decisions. And I think one of my colleagues always used to joke and say that the rate of change that we're seeing today is the slowest you're ever going to experience, right? And he's so right. And the current market that we're in is just evolving so rapidly, and organizations are all trying to stay competitive, and traditional solutions that are being offered just aren't necessarily maintaining that competitive edge. So there was a massive shift that created an urgency and demand that would allow for insightful access to information and more sophisticated automation for organizations to be more effective. So, Blue Iris IQ is really a division of Konica Minolta, which is that brand that has always been associated with trust and reliability and longevity. And the reason we spun out underneath the Konica Minolta brand is because kind of under that umbrella, you really think about Konica Minolta being more in the print and copier and industrial print verticals. And we were kind of getting lost as a part of the IIM business, right? Intelligent Information Management business. We were getting lost underneath that broader umbrella. And because we've been starting to grow, seen some accelerated rates and growth over the last several years, we thought that the time was right since the market is ready for us to spin out and create Blue Iris IQ.
So Blue Iris IQ was part of the information and the intelligent information management program.
Yeah, it was
And
the Intelligent
okay,
Information
it was
Management
that
Program.
program, and that
Yeah.
program has now been recast as its own division. Am I understanding that correctly?
That is correct.
Okay, and you're in charge of it.
I am. Yeah. I have the good fortune of joining the team back in March. Not new to Konica Minolta, was part of a subsidiary that they acquired in 2015. So I've been part of the Konica Minolta family since then, and was asked to lead the charge here at Blue Iris IQ.
So give me a couple of the other divisions just so we can put this into perspective. What does
Sure.
a division at Konica Minolta look like? Like, is it office? Is it production? And now it's Blue Iris IQ. Like, where does that fit in as its own group?
Yeah. Yeah. So great question. I think specifically some specialized business units like All Covered, our IT business, or Force, our video surveillance business. They are divisions of Konica Minolta, right? Because they offer a specialty and unique offering into the marketplace that is outside of the scope of just your standard industrial print copiers and the solutions that might ride with that. So Blue Iris IQ now brings the intelligent information management outside of just your traditional Konica Minolta copiers, and allows us to have that unique identity with our own website and our own ability to try and drive leads and access and support, quite frankly, for dealers in a much more organized fashion.
So where was this fitting in before? Was this part of the all covered group? It seems like it would fit in there. Is this part of the copy? Where was the IIM?
Little bit of both. So it did live underneath the IT world for a little while, and then it was directly under the core Konica Minolta brand over these last several years.
Okay, so kind of spinning its wheels looking for a home that
Looking
didn't
for a home.
exist.
Right.
And the need
Right.
for it seems to be growing and growing every, the conferences I go to. just the expansion in this because of the explosion in data and people trying to use it more effectively,
Right.
and then content management just becoming a greater and greater, I think, endeavor with a lot of companies. It's this is no little bit of this is a big deal. This is a kind of a big announcement. I didn't want this to get lost. You guys have had a lot of pretty big announcements in the last month or two. But
We
so
have,
you guys this week launched an entirely new division,
yes,
which is now going to be focused exclusively on content management, essentially.
yes.
And so we've got this program. What does that do for you? You mentioned you've got it now. You've got your own website, which is great because now instead of someone trying to go find bits and pieces of this, right? You've got your own place, your own
Right.
ecosystem. Beyond just the website, like what more now, what does Meg like about this and going to work every day now that you have in your quiver that you didn't have before when you were just sort of floating between divisions?
I think one of the really cool things, Andy, is the way that we're going to be able to be a little bit more agile in the way that we can support our customers. I think having a little bit more independence underneath that Blue Iris IQ brand is going to allow us to pivot and make different business decisions, have different types of partnerships with different VARs. So I think it's really a matter of giving us more flexibility so that we can respond to the changes that are happening in the market at a faster pace.
And you said you got there. How long have you been now in this position now? In this with this
I've been
you
since
guys?
March. Yeah,
Since
since
March,
March.
since March.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
been a lot happening since March.
Yeah, yeah. So they found you, brought you in to run this division essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Well, let's go from there. So moving on from we've got this new division, right? And you've got resources now that you I guess didn't have before. You've got a budget. You've probably got to start selling some stuff a little bit more
Oh
aggressively.
yeah.
Um, you know, now that you're organizing like this, where does it go? Because you had you had this solution out there. Yeah, it was. I think you guys acquired it, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that. But you have this solution that you've had for quite a while, and now you've got somebody in charge of it, its own division. You've got, I read, a whole team of, what was it, 200 people, it said in the press
Yeah.
release. So
Yep.
you've got like a whole team of people who are essentially a new company, right?
Right.
You got a website. And in the interview we'll put in the description for the interview we'll put a link to that so anyone watching this you can get to that website. It's also in the press release. Uh, where do you go from here? You've got messaging to bring out to customers. You've got messaging to bring out to your resellers, to your Konica branches, to Konica Minolta branches, to your dealers.
Right.
This is supporting U.S. and Canada, just U.S. What do you guys support out of this program?
Out of this program right now, it's US based.
U.S.
So
based.
yeah, it's all US based.
Okay. And this is the kind of thing you don't necessarily need an office in every city. A lot of, it's
No.
data, right?
All,
So
yeah,
it's
it's all the
cloud.
majority. Yeah, the majority of our work in what we're doing is all remote.
Okay. So 200 people under you now, and what are they doing? You've got obviously you've got the tech people coding and building this, right? And maintaining it.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh, beyond beyond that type of technical person, let's talk about support and I guess just rollout and working with customers and supporting dealers. Just how does that feel now that you've got a whole division here that people can turn to?
Yeah, I think, it's structured pretty similar to how it has been. However, I think, we've got our own research and development team. We have our own engineers, sales engineers, sales people, account executives. We really can run the gamut. Customer success is really a focus of ours right now. I think within the last year, we've introduced that customer success program so that we're really there to help support the adoption of the technology that we're bringing forward because it's easy for customers to say, hey, yes, or organizations to say, yes, I know I need this. However, then, we want to help them on their journey and ensure they actually adopt it. So we've introduced a new customer success program. We've got some enterprise consultants that can really help with more complex scenarios, depending on the business need and the demand. So it really can span across, a multitude of different roles. And I think one of the things for the dealer channel that's really exciting is for certain programs, we can really act as an extension of their sales team, their support team. their implementation teams, and try and take some of that burden on, specifically with Square 9 products. We'll do all of that work for them, and they'll be able to continue to grow and have their ARR increase without necessarily needing to make that investment in human capital to be successful.
So this isn't necessarily, I was kind of wondering about that and didn't know if I should ask or shouldn't ask, but you brought it up. So Square Nine, so you're
Yeah.
integrated. That's not a competitor, that's integrated as part of this.
Yeah, we're the exclusive reseller of the Square 9 platform in the US.
Oh, okay. Are there others that you work with, or that's probably the main one then, if that's
That's
exclusive?
Yeah, so, for the SMB business, that is who we've partnered with.
So then dealers working, your dealers that are already probably working with Square Nine, you're integrating that into the system, right? So that makes it easier
Yes,
for you to support. That's got to add a lot of legs to that product for your dealers.
it does. Yeah, it does. And I've had the opportunity to be a part of some of those conversations. And I think, again, in my past life, I worked at a dealership, and had built a support team for that dealership, and understand the challenges it can present when you're trying to find the staff with the technology that's changing and have the technical backgrounds, and really be able to position something, gain that adoption, and continue to retain that client over the 36 to however many months, right? We want them long term, not just short term. So I understand some of the pain points there. So I think for me, this is really exciting with the Square 9 product to really be able to partner with the dealers and help them be successful.
So I love that you worked for a dealer. I didn't
I
realize that.
did. Yeah,
So you get this and you understand, that's the one concern I would have had with somebody frankly, in your role where you come from, if you came from an IT side, which you obviously do, but without any dealer background, sometimes this is a weird little world we're in, and these
it
companies
is.
they don't work like typical, I don't know, small, medium-sized resellers and sales companies. They're just really unique. Let's just say they're really unique, and they all have special things that they're good at, and some of them need a little more than others. So the fact that you guys are building this program, and it's being built by somebody who's actually, you know, spent time banging on doors and working,
Oh yeah,
understands what it is. So walk me through this. If you're a kid working in a dealership, you're a geo rep, you're scared to death to bring this up because it's, you'll wind up talking this. It's one thing to be able to talk about office equipment and printers and stuff, but when
right.
you start talking about their data and workflow and using big words like that, now you're in front of a person who's, maybe a few levels up from you. It can be very intimidating. And that's where I think a lot of, we call them geo reps, right? You've got a zip code and you're that first layer of sales for a dealership. And so how do you make this easier for them?
Yeah, I think, part of our program gives them the opportunity for these particular types of solutions to actually lean on somebody, and bring them into the conversation. So they identify the opportunity, and then we'll flank them, and help support them through the entire sales
And
process.
you're partnering. You're not trying to take the account. You're trying to win it for
Exactly.
them. So
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
you're te you're teaming up with them.
Yeah,
Let's be
teaming
clear
up.
about this. So because sometimes
Yeah, it's a
you know how it is,
teamwork.
the dealers get concerned bringing a manufacturer in, an OEM, and
Yep,
and they really shouldn't anymore. I don't think that there are a lot of issues, especially when it's this type of partnership where, don't leave money on the table, right? I mean, like, don't walk
exactly.
away from this just because you're not well versed at it. That was one of the things I loved when I was selling. If you got in the right situation, if I could, I wasn't a production specialist by any means, but if I could find myself in a situation, I
Exactly.
had help back at the dealership that would come out. And this is kind of set up like that. So you've got everybody from what? From initial discovery that can help
Yeah,
with that.
we'll help them through discovery. We'll help them through, a demonstration. We'll help them with building out their statements of work for proposals. Once they close the proposal, we'll help them go through all the implementation, and support them and do that. And then the ongoing support long term.
And like ideal customers when these guys are out there in the field and they are banging on those doors, what are they looking for? What size? I mean, we always just said filing cabinets, right? And
Yeah.
that's probably still a good one, but
Yeah, I think
what else?
I think in the SMB space, you're really looking for, that 20 plus user, the size of that type of account seems to work well. You can have good adoption there, and see some success. It's scalable.
So they can add people, they can take people off, they can
Yep.
open things up, shut things down.
Yeah, and it
Um,
can spread, and you can start small, right? You can start an AP, then you can add AR, then you can add HR, right? So you can do, instead of having to take and consume everything all at once, you can be very targeted and specific, and then we can help grow and expand that through time.
it's like it's modular.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that makes it a little easier to swallow. That's the one thing with when you're a sales rep and you're supposed to know everything about everything, but it's just tough. You've got the core things that you understand, and then you walk around these offices and you look and you see the opportunities, and sometimes you know, you get intimidated. You don't understand it. You don't want to sound dumb, right? And so
Right.
you're making it easy to not sound dumb by bringing in some people who are well trained in this, well versed in this. So the idea is find the opportunity and bring in the partner to help bring in the expertise to help you, close it.
Right. Absolutely.
And this type of product, I'm sure people understand the model now, but it's how does this get billed to a customer? As a dealer selling it, what's the benefit to me? It's recurring, it fits in,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
leasable, it's integrated into the other stuff that I'm already doing.
Yep. Yep. It can easily be bundled into a lease. It can, generate ARR for you. You'll have that hook if you specifically, you obviously want to try and lock someone in for more than 12 months. If you can get them on a 36-month plan, it's only going to make your billing and your work more predictable. And I think that that's, a great opportunity, especially in today's world, right? I mean, everybody's seeing the compression in pricing when it comes to the cost per page, or whatever their click rates are, and even the cost of the equipment. And I think this is a nice value added offering that you can sell deeper and wider within your existing account, and try and demonstrate that you're more of a technologist, and not just trying to sell them something that's a tangible item.
I love that the whole direction that you're going with this. What's the significance of this to Konica Minolta? I mean, I feel like this is just beyond a big deal. It's a new division. We haven't seen a new division in a long time. Probably All Covered was the last, maybe not All Covered. I can't. Oh, it was the security one, the camera.
Security, yep,
Yeah.
force, yep.
That was a while ago, right? So it's not something you guys do every day. Uh, and you're taking a part of Konica Minolta that was sort of already into, crossing over a couple groups, and now you're centralizing it. You're making its own. You're spinning it off into its own piece. How does this position Konica Minolta going forward? What does this make Konica into? Konica Minolta.
I think again, it's all about where the industry is headed, um, and where businesses, frankly, are headed. They have a lot of unstructured data, a lot of things that they don't know what to do with within their organizations, and I think that this is going to allow Konica Minolta to bring a higher value into these conversations, and be seen as more of an emerging partner, and not just a partner that's there to help them with their basic office needs.
Okay. We're running up towards the end of it, but I don't want to let you go before we talk. We've got to talk about AI because, it's 2025, and if we're going to do a podcast, we have to talk about AI. So, that fits right into what you guys are doing and what everybody in that area is doing. So tell me where's your head at with AI, and how's that going to make your program and your products better?
Yeah, I think AI is definitely a buzzword right now, right? We're all trying to get our arms around it, and I think where AI is going to play a big role for us is really in the automation of how we're going to give access to all that data that our businesses that we partner with, and that we're still working to partner with, are going to be able to utilize that as part of their business structure. Without automation, it's just content. And that's where I think we're trying to get to, is how can we expand upon that and create different layers of workflow, and create different access to different pods of information that might be scattered throughout an organization, so that they can make smarter business decisions. All
All
right.
right, so looking forward, we've got a new division. It's going to support dealers, it's going to support customers, and just everybody out there under the sun, and it's given you guys a lot more structure, a lot more capability, right? And
Mhm.
and now you're able to support people at a level that you never have before. Uh, Looking forward, a year from now, we're going to do another one of these interviews, and I'll bring you back
Awesome.
on. And what are we going to talk about in a year? What do you think are going to be some of the things that you will like to have accomplished?
I think probably one of the biggest things is really just the transformation of the team, right? I think how we're going to market, what we're able to do, how we're able to support, the ever evolving areas when it comes to how AI can integrate into businesses differently and how we can really create more efficiency across our clients' platforms. And I think if you look at some of the things, I want to be here and talking to you about all the success that we've had in supporting our dealers, in supporting, our customers and really showing you that what we did and the why we did it and the timing for where we did it was, helping us hit a trajectory and being kind of that industry leader, if you will, when it comes to all things content management across the US.
Well, this is just such a great place to be. And print is data. We've been helping customers with their data in our own way for so many years. And, this is a natural place to go. Your dealers are looking to diversify. This is one that they, I think, for the most part, can understand and participate in. The investment levels are not as significant as they are in other things that they might try to get into, right? It's not managed services, it's not managed IT and cybersecurity. It's a lot different, and you've got a whole organization, a whole division here to support you. So, as a dealer, I think this is something well worth taking a look at. You're probably already looking at working with the document management partner, the content management partner already. So this just ties it in, makes it easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hope so. That's the goal.
Well, it'll be fun to watch. I look forward to, revisiting this in a year and seeing where you guys have gone. But this is exciting. Congratulations to you guys, to Konica Minolta. It's not every day you launch a new division. I hope some champagne glasses were raised or something significant to celebrate because it's a bit of a milestone. I can count these new divisions that you've launched probably on one hand in the last 10, 20 years I've been doing this. It's exciting. Especially when we have uh, companies in our industry, they've been around a long time. They're known for one thing, and it's tough to push into new areas. But this one, this is one of those areas that just kind of makes sense and it fits right in with everything else you're doing. So I'm excited for you. I think it's really neat to see this this portion of the company, this content management group. What was it? IM
Yeah.
turn into its own division and Blue Iris IQ. Good luck to you guys. Thank you, Meg, so much for coming
Great.
on today.
Thank you, Andy. I appreciate the opportunity.
This was great. Thanks. Take care.
Thanks. Take care.